All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is I, Darkscale Dragon, Matt, and I am back here, and we're going to get into another one of our digital well-being talks here. That's what we're going to do. So the last one that I have put out there was about a place called virustotal.com, which is a fantastic tool. If you haven't already looked at it, go take a look. It's going to make your life easier and more secure online. And then this one, we're going to speak on passwords. Passwords. Oh, we love our passwords, don't we? So, digital health, passwords edition. So, there are some things that I want to talk to you about. Your password. Is it easy to guess? Is it part of your name? Is it something that can be looked up online on Facebook, Twitter, or Google to make it easier on you? You know, can you easily guess what your password is? Can you easily guess it because it's part of your name? Or your former name, like if your maiden name or something? Or is it something that you can look up on Facebook, be like, oh yeah, that's right, that's what I used? Well, if so, these are things that should not be used in your password. Passwords should not be easy for you to guess. Passwords should not be a part of your name. And if you have something in your password that you can look up and find on Facebook, such as your father's name, your oldest dog's name, your first childhood friend's name, if you've ever posted that online, all of those things are no longer secure because we live in an online world. Facebook, Twitter, and Google have done a lot to make it so that you can't use certain types of what you would normally consider personal information as a secure source for a password. So do not use anything that can be guessed in these ways. Something else, password strength. Password strength is something that you need to think about whenever you're generating or creating a password. All right, so here are some of the things that go into strong passwords. So you have to have at least an uppercase letter. It has to contain a lowercase letter. And it should contain a number. Most people stop here, which they do themselves a disservice. So every time you add a new type of character, so there's 26 characters in the alphabet, right? So if it's all lowercase, then you've got 26 variations times the number of variations as far as the difficulty of guessing the password, right? Same way, if you add another 26 by uppercase letters, you've doubled the security, all right? You've doubled it. If you add numbers, now you have 10 more things, 0 through 9, that you're going to be able to use. However, you are doing yourself a disservice if you just stop there, because that does increase the security having those 3 different types, but you should also be using special characters, such as you're seeing on my screen right now. Now, most of you are probably looking at this and you're very intimidated. Oh my gosh, how am I going to remember a password like this? Well, it gets better. Because not only is this part of a strong password, we're going to go a little further. The number of characters is also paramount in your password. So, if you have less than 16 characters, that is less than ideal. Now, it wasn't that long ago everybody was saying you got to have at least 8 characters in your password. Before that it was, I think, 6 characters people were pushing. Now, if you have anything less than 16 characters, which, by the way, most people who are in security are going to use one that's at least 16 characters long. If you have anything less than 16 characters long, it's less than ideal. All right? Now, if you got something that's above 16 characters or more, that's a pretty strong password. And if you're typing things in by hand, 16 characters, it seems kind of long, but it's doable, right? However, if you want to be ridiculously secure, then you're going to go for something more like 256 characters or above. You're saying, oh, there is no way I'm going to sit there at the password prompt and type for 3 minutes just so I can type in my password and sign in because it's 256 characters long. I completely agree with you there. That would drive somebody insane. Well, we'll talk more about that in a minute. But I'm going to move on to another thing that we need to think about, which is duplicate passwords. So, duplicate passwords means you have the same password on multiple sites or multiple applications. And so that would be like you saying you have, green apples are delicious 1, and you have that on Facebook, you have that on Twitter, you have it on Google for your Gmail, you have it for your banking account, all these different things online. That is extremely dangerous to your digital welfare, okay? Here's why. If one site gets hacked, let's say one site, one insecure site, such as, let's say Twitter has a hack tomorrow, all right? If that site has a hack and they're able to crack the passwords when they do that hack, and your passwords are the same for all the sites that you're on, not only do they have the password for Twitter, they now have the password for your bank account. Do not use duplicate passwords, okay? It's a big, big no-no. So then that must make you wonder, for the best practices, how do I keep myself from going insane? How do I keep myself from losing my mind by typing these massively long passwords and having to remember a new password for every single site? Well, there is a way to do that, and that's through something called a password manager. Password managers such as LastPass. I like LastPass because it actually is free, but LastPass will help you generate those strong passwords. It will store those passwords for you in their secure format, and then it will require you to only know the one master password. There's a single master password that you use to unlock LastPass and get to all your other passwords. You can have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of passwords in there. And even LastPass themselves cannot get into your password data because it is encrypted so well. Okay? So, having a password manager is a fantastic way to make your life easier and way more secure. I'm going to actually show you how we're going to do this here. So we're going to go through, we're actually going to set up a brand new LastPass account. So I'm going to go LastPass for passwords, and that's at lastpass.com. I'm going to say for personal because this is not going to be for business. It's going to ask me for an email account, a master password, a confirm master password, and a reminder. So remember, this master password that you're going to be using, this is the main password you're going to use to unlock everything. So this one you can write down. Now, I know a lot of people say don't write down your passwords, but you can write this one down and then store it in an actual physical vault location, a place where everything is secure, like a safe, right? So you put your information on this password and everything, put it in a safe, but also try to remember it, because it's going to be frustrating if you don't remember it. You'll have to get it out of the safe every time. So just commit it to memory, and then also put it in a safe or something like that, just so that you can't possibly lose it, and all your passwords along with it. Okay? So I'm going to just put in my email address and password here. So here we go. And I'm going to choose my minimum password. Now here you can see they did not go for 8 characters. They didn't go for 16 characters either. They went for at least 12 characters. That's very important. They went for 12 characters long, which means most people don't have a password this long. So they've got at least one number, a lowercase letter, and an uppercase letter, but they did not go for the the characters either, if you'll notice here. So they didn't necessarily go for the most secure, but they are they're kind of depending on you to come up with a very, very secure password. So I'm going to come up with a password right now. Okay. And then before I forget, so for future use, I'm going to store this information for myself. Okay. Start my 30-day free trial. So now I can install LastPass. And you want to make sure you only have one password manager active at any given time. So if you've got a password generator or a password remembrance thing on your computer, on your browser, or whatever, turn it off there and only enable it in LastPass. So we're going to go ahead and get LastPass from the Microsoft Store, which, by the way, it is a Microsoft partner. So that tells you a little bit about how good they are and how trusted they are. And so we're going to import passwords into LastPass. And this gives us the option of pulling them from multiple different places. KeyPass is one place that people used to use a lot. Some people use Keeper. Some people use Dashlane. There's all these different. These are all potential password managers here. All right. And also you can grab them from browsers and things like that. So you've got them here as well. Now let's go out to the Microsoft Store. We're going to go out here and we're going to get this for free. There we go. We're going to say no thanks. We're going to put in my email. And then this is why it's important to write these things down, because I've already forgotten it. Good thing I wrote it down. Okay, we're going to have it do that. I'm not going to have it remember the master password for right now, because anytime you're starting off with a new password, you want to try to have to remember it as many times as possible in the first, 24 hours as you can, so that way it starts to cement it. Every time you have to look it back up and go, what was that password again? You look it up, you type it in again. It helps you remember what that password was. So keep the password on you for just a short amount of time as you're going through and doing this over and over again, using the password over and over again. Do not save the password yet, and that will help you retain the password in your memory. So now you can actually create your passwords. So let's say we have a password we want to put in here for, I don't know, some site. So we'll just say Matt site, and then we're going to put it in a folder. If we have a folder, we're going to just call this secure, and then we'll say URL mattsite.com, and then we're going to say secure name, and then we're going to say a lot of times we can actually have it generate a password right here. So in Windows, if you click on the three dots down here, not exactly obvious, but if we click on this and say generate password, it's going to give us an option of how many we want in there. Well, if we have an option on how many we want to use, why would we go low? Why not go high? That's my question. Why go low when you can go high? All right, so we're going to click on Save. There we go. So now we've got this, so we can always take this and copy the whole thing when we want to. And we'll have this massively long password that to guess it would be so insanely difficult, even for the most powerful algorithm in the world. All right. So we can just go ahead and use that, and then we can say check. And now we have this brand new one here. And if I click launch, it's actually going to take me to the site. Okay, it's going to take me to the site that this is stored for, that I gave it. I said, this is the site that this is at. This is what I want to use it for. And so that's what this is talking about right here. Is it's going to, if I click on launch, it'll take me to that site. The site doesn't exist, or at least I don't think it exists, and I don't trust if it does exist, because I've never visited Matt's site before. And so I have no idea what it is. I'm not going to go there. All right. So that shows you how to set it up and how to create new stuff. You can put notes in here. You can put applications, so you can have applications passwords tied in here. You can put cards in here and bank accounts and all sorts of stuff. And it's all secured by your master password. So if I log out, it requires that master password again. So and there we go. Oh. Yeah, see, here we are again. So now it's time to pull out that password again, because I thought I remembered it. There it is. Okay. It's good not to remember. It's good to not have it remember the password, so that you have to put it in every time. But make sure, like I said, you're going to write this down. You're going to write this information down. All right? And that way, you don't forget it and then not have it anywhere. Okay? So let's try it again. Okay. I remembered it that time without having to look back at it again. All right. So now I can close out of this. I now have my LastPass running, and it's going to contain my passwords. And there's some other things that we can do. Once we've got LastPass enabled, we should be able to put it into our extensions as an extension for our internet browser of choice. So it's already in there, and it will be trying to capture new passwords anytime I create one. So that is the idea on good password management as far as digital well-being, digital health passwords edition. Hopefully this has been useful to you. If you have any questions, or if you're running into any problems, you can always contact me on my site, and I would be happy to try and help you through some of those things. And we can always get you up and running. So if you have any questions, like I said, just contact me, and you guys have yourself a great day. This is Matt signing out from darkscalepc.com.